Hey, it's Tpok, and I'm back in Hate Plus. We left off with the morning afters. I finished those, and I also finished... Oh yeah, that's what we have. Wow, this boy swears so much. Like, even in a retrograde family, this disrespectful attitude is inexcusable. I'm so sick of spending time with my extended family. I don't think I've ever met a single person who thinks the Hyo family gatherings are any fun. Everyone I've talked to seems to secretly hate them, every single one. But we all pretend to care and take interest in how every random unimportant cousin has been doing, and who's just got married and who fucking cares about it all. This time, someone apparently paid serious money to hire an entire troupe of actors to perform short scenes in the living room, which at least shut down the conversation. Unfortunately, the performances were complete shit. I needed to get away, and slipped out between sets under the pretense of trying to find the washroom, in the hopes of falling in and therefore having an excuse for not being around. Oh no, this isn't going to be one of those stories, is it? Instead, while I was wandering the halls of the main branch's absurdly large home, I ended up stumbling on the weirdest scene. A table with a card game in progress on it, with an old professor of mine at one end, and a mostly naked, flat-chested maid sitting on strewn-about clothes. Sorry, I was, looking for the washroom, I said sheepishly, and started to back away. It wasn't even like the door was closed. I wasn't trying to sneak in anyway. They were just there for anyone in the hall to see. Wait, don't go, cute boy, the maid called out. Do you want to play? If you want to, we could really use a third. I like playing Hatu too, though. The cards are pretty. But like, you didn't play any games like that, right? Is that okay? I asked, looking at the professor, terrified that I had interrupted an intimate moment. Then I remembered the last time I visited their home looking for his wife, the chief security officer, and how he was indisposed then, too. That was a weird fucking night. No, of course, this is a bit, yeah, if you have any silver to play for, he said with a shrug. It really did seem like he didn't care. Sure, I said. Even then I got the feeling I was about to be hustled, but whatever. Anything to escape the family. I hear that, he said. Bloody in-laws. I'm a Hyo too, I said, then I introduced myself. You're Professor Kim, right? I had you in an Earth History class. Let me guess, first year? You and every other officer in your family, he said. Go ahead and deal, Mimi. Can't really give a play-by-play of the game itself. I don't really remember that well. It probably didn't help that after putting out silver for the stakes, Mimi kept pouring me more and more to drink. That's a really unusual name. Is it your real one? I asked the maid. Nope, was the only response. I kept trying not to stare and it wasn't working. Maybe that's what the nudity was for, to win at cards by means of seduction. I mean, man, it sure worked. It was pretty hard not to get caught up by thinking about how soft that bare skin would feel against my hands, and instead worry about my hand in the game. It was also losing me a rapid number of points. At first, I didn't realize just how badly I was doing, because I assumed my real threat was the professor. Who is this space woman, and why is she in their home? And he only seemed to be at the same point I was. And Mimi was only whittling us down very slowly, never calling go no matter how big the lead was. Next thing I knew, we were both out. Oh wow, I won, Mimi exclaimed with a girlish giggle. I feel like I'm on a roll. How about another but with higher stakes? 5 silver per point. And that was the hustle. No bloody way, I know when I'm done, the professor said. I'm sitting this one out. Yeah, I know how this story ends. I would be lying if I said the reason why I went in wasn't simply because I was attracted and wanted to spend more time with Mimi. I mean, I figured I'd be able to make back my money because I couldn't really take that giggling very seriously. But mostly it was attraction. It ended pretty quickly. 3 rounds in, I had arrogantly raised the stakes and promptly got utterly swept with a single play that took my opponent from 0 points to having more than enough to wipe me out, twice. Go or stop? I asked. Stop. That puts me in an awkward position, I explained. If you do that, you'll win and I'll be out, and I don't have anything more in my purse. But I'm having a lot of fun playing with you, so if you say go, we can take another 3 rounds. Nope. Stop, was the response, followed by a cutesy head tilt. Then I watched my money get swept off the table. I'm not playing for fun, I'm playing for money. You're vicious, I teased. I have to be, Mimi exclaimed. I've got tutors for my entrance exams to pay for, and I am but a poor little thing. The last word was dragged out. It was a little bit too cutesy. Tutors? The exams aren't that hard. Ha, and when did you take them? 40-30? The professor scoffed. At 37, I'm not that old, I said. Well, they were a lot easier then. Anyone could get in. How many Chinese characters do you know, kid? He asked, rolling his eyes at me. I thought back to school. He was actually my least favorite professor. I thought he was pretty obnoxious. What? Of course knowing the classics is important. So even then they were using Chinese characters. That's so stupid. I don't know, not many, I admitted. Yeah, right. Nowadays you need to know 1,000 in order to get in. Mind you, you'll have trouble in a lot of classics classes if that's all you know. But it's the bare minimum, he told me. Holy shit, I said. Oh jeez. What? Yeah, well, that's important. That's what's important nowadays, he said. How's that? I couldn't imagine why. Don't ask me, he said. I'm a history professor. It's way out of my bloody field. I don't care about Confucius. If I had it my way, it'd still be like it was before. I see, I said. Jeez, but he has a wife. See, Hunite, that's what happens when 2 wives who act like shrews. Insult the tutors, Mimi said, pouring me another drink. Hey, how about another game? I think he's had enough to drink, the professor said. In retrospect, he was absolutely right. I'm fine, I can handle it, I said, absolutely wrong. I'm in security, we drink pretty fucking hard. So my wife keeps complaining, he responded. Fine, if we're in the stupid part of the evening, I'll leave you two to it. Have fun, kids. He turned to look at Mimi. I'm going to find the maid you swindled that uniform from, since half the work's done for me. Give it back when you're done. Yes, sir, Mimi responded. Wait. Whoa. Yeah, that went over my head when I first read it, but... Oh, that completely went over my fucking head at the time on the account of drinking. I just realized that right now. The joke was that Mimi had stolen the maid's clothes, and their rightful owner was presumably naked somewhere. Holy fucking yikes, man. I totally did not get that at the time. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking... Okay, never mind. Anyway, then I was alone, for which I was kinda glad because it gave me the chance to get closer. So, another game? Mimi asked. My purse is empty, I've got nothing, I said. Play just for fun? I only play for keeps. How about I loan you back the 600 silver you just lost? Even I could tell this was a bad idea at this point. Too bad my dick couldn't, and it was making decisions for me at that point. I'll need to take something as collateral. What? I asked far too quickly. A kiss? Mimi responded, smiling coyly at me, a finger against the lips. I was wrapped around that finger at this point. To make a long story short, I naturally agreed, and the kiss that was taken from me was amazing. Ah, jeez, what is he saying? Maybe you're too sensitive to be reading this? You know, the kind that just makes you want more and more and frustrates you. That was the point, I have no doubt. It fucking well worked. I didn't have to win my money back. That was just money. I wanted to win Mimi. Okay. It's cute in a way, I suppose. Is this how adults are? Kinda? Anyway, I sure didn't win back the money. I was cleaned out in 10 minutes. Well, I'm off, Mimi said, starting to pull the strong clothes into something more proper-like. Wait, I said, not actually having a follow-through. I just stared for a moment, trying to think of something. How am I gonna pay you back? Yo, Sungbok, I'm sure I can find you. How about I pay you with dinner sometime, I asked. Mimi laughed. Cute boy, you know I'm not a girl, right? He asked. Do you think I would have let you kiss me if you were? I asked. I thought it was the coolest fucking line at the time. It wasn't. True, but definitely not fucking cool. Oh, wow, I misread that one. Well, if he's a man, that's okay. You're funny, he said. I'll see you around. Oh, okay, I thought Mimi was a girl as well. I sure hope so. After he left, I stumbled back out to the main party, thankfully to discover that the actors were done and that there was now food to be had, which I sure needed. I really couldn't get that card-hustling boy and the sight of his really gorgeous body and that kiss out of my head. Still can't. Eventually, the family members just stopped bothering me because I was pretty clearly spaced out by thinking of him. I only feel a little bit bad. If I'm gonna get played, man, it could be a lot worse than by someone like that. A lot worse. Damn. I sure hope I see him again. Yeah, not what I was expecting. M. Night Shyamalan wrote that. Huh? Why wouldn't a family be led by the eldest son? Well, what about, like, the Hyo family? Before I declare council back in session, I'll ask, have the councillors with differences on the one lineage amendment resolved them, or will this simply be a repeat of this morning? I'm okay. I think we've come to acceptable terms. Then we can proceed. The council is now in session and the floor is open. I'd like to modify my amendment to stipulate that all the provisions are optional, and the member of the family who receives the nobility stipend can be selected arbitrarily by the councillor. What's the point of that? Right, that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. How does something like that happen? The point is that not every family is led by the eldest son. If we are to restrict the nobility stipend to a single branch of the family, it is important that it is not given the wrong one, as we discussed this morning. Like, at length. I have to admit, I don't really get all this stuff about money. Well, you were a royal consort. You didn't have to. So why not give it directly to councillors then? As the Councillor of Security would say, more subtlety is required. It's better to make it about families than the individual man. And about individual men. That isn't something I'd say. Do you still disapprove of the act, even with Councillor Smith's amendment? Well, I still think this one lineage nonsense is a stupid idea. I don't see any point in prioritizing elder sons in particular, even as a statement, and like alienating branch families has absolutely no logic to me. This is going to have all kinds of serious repercussions in the future. They're not going to be on my family, though. You want to hoist yourselves up on your own petards, that's fine by me. I definitely disapprove of the act, but in the capacity of the Counselor of Security, I won't object. That will suffice then. I don't know what she said. I missed that. Are there any conditions that do have objections, or further items to propose? None that have a chance of carrying, no. Then Councillor Smith's item is added to the amendment then, and the debate is closed. How does the council vote? The councillor of state is in favor, agriculture is against. I'm sorry, but I have to tell my family I tried. Also against for the record. The councillor of culture is in favor, councillor of engineering science is in favor, councillor of education is in favor, captaincy in favor, security is against. Have fun explaining this one to your cousins, boys. It's not on me. Amendment carries 5 in favor, 3 against. Moving on. Okay. And then Hyo So-young. Jeez, she's scary and rude. Idiots! We've taken a completely functional political institution and replaced it with a collection of absolute idiots. Councillor Mead shouted at me the moment she appeared on screen. Good evening, Councillor, I said. Tough day at work? Don't you start with me. She rolled her eyes, wagging her finger at me. I've dealt with enough bullshit, today, okay? I'm sick of it. Sorry. Are you the only councillor who's remained after the whole meritocracy thing? Me and Chief Councillor Ryu. Somehow that dimwit was the only other member of the council who managed to pass his exams, she said, throwing up her hands. What the hell? I gave her a look. Not even the Councillor of Education was able to retain his position. Surely everyone would think he would have no problem, as he controls the exam's content, I said, perplexed. Huh, that's all because of meritocracy. Apparently. I did not like what I was hearing. This was a radical shake-up of the political climate, and that is never a good thing. Like, I have no idea. I guess your guess is as good as mine. I mean, education stayed in the old family, at least. A couple have actually gone to totally different families altogether, she said. Oh, I said in surprise. Yeah, which is actually pretty big, given the whole nobility status is tied to the council's positions thing. Meaning that, like, the Kim family just straight up doesn't count as nobles anymore. Huh. I found myself feeling immensely grateful that my family status was perpetually tied to Mute, who has the advantage of being perfect, and therefore not very likely to fail any exams anytime soon, regardless of how utterly repugnant the notion of nobility having to prove their status is. I said as much to her. Yeah, she said, giving me a look. Anyway, I want dossiers on all the new counselors made. First line for each. Utter idiot. But, like, I want to know who these people are, especially the ones from new families. I don't know anything about them, and I want that changed, okay? Yes, ma'am, I said. I thought about it for a bit, then suggested we should also keep a close eye on any family that has lost their nobility status, as they may cause trouble. Tch, how disrespectful. Don't you sympathize, though? Wow, what a thing to suggest. Good calls, she said. Hey, let me bounce a crazy theory off you. Do you think this could have been a power play by Chief Councillor Ryu? I considered it. It seemed unlikely to me, given all that she has said about the man. He was the one she handpicked for the position of Chief Councillor herself, and her judgment is impeccable. There's no way that it could be a power play, because the whole reason why she suggested for him to take the position was because he wasn't the sort to make one. You're probably right, she said. Still, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, the whole insufferability meritocracy idea came from President Park, but Ryu's the one who formally proposed it in the council on his behalf. And now that it's in place, he's the only one who's still got a position. Makes you wonder. I still don't believe to be in character, I said. Okay, well, I said it was a crazy theory. She shrugged. Anyway, what have you got to report to me today? We spoke no more of the new council that day. Okay, I gotta go home. And then disable, extract, and I see Meijina is there. Songbok, that boy, again. So 2 more yaoi things and another Yuri. Good, I guess. I think I need to run an emergency diagnostic though. I don't know. I thought it was taken care of me. Taken care of for me. But I don't know. Oh, they're automatic. Okay, well. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna end it here. And so, yeah, next time we'll continue with that boy. And then Kim So-yi. And she was the researcher. Yeah. Right? Oh, I clicked it. Or did I? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.